Yo, yo, peace everybody. It's your man Soular out here on another beautiful sunny day. A lot of people going through things, I'm talking to good and bad. And it's a very simple message for today. You know, the message is healing yourself and working on yourself to heal the world, to heal the world and to have that effect in the world and attract what's for you. Abundance is always connected to this purpose in alignment. But what do you do that? What's that look like? How do you do that? I want to talk about that right now, and I want to share wisdom, insights, and truth on how that goes. My name is Soular. I am a music producer, engineer. I write, record music. I go to LA Film School. I'm a 3D animator, storyteller, director. The resume just keeps going as I keep growing. So it's a very beautiful journey that I've been on. So many things and titles I can throw onto myself, but check out the music on this page, on my YouTube page. Just go to my releases and you'll be able to hear the music and the type of things that I do. Stay on the lookout for the new stuff. I'm also an astrologer. You can always feel free to book a reading with me. I'll talk about purpose, teach purpose through astrology. It's an objective way to look at the energies that you have, the energies that are around you, and how to use them in your best benefit. So in this message, I want to talk about healing yourself. And this is the cool thing about healing yourself, right? And working on yourself and astrology is that there is an objective way to actually know your purpose. Just start with this real quick. If you don't know where you're going nowhere. If you don't know who you are, if you're not walking in your purpose, you will be repurposed. People will tell you who you are. You'll always be questioning these things, wondering why things aren't working out. If you build a life outside of alignment with your truest, most authentic self, when you do finally choose to walk in your authentic self, you might have to let go of all the things that you manifested and acquired through being inauthentic, from walking around with a mask on. So, what does it look like? How do you go about healing yourself and growing? I had a conversation today with a friend, and we were talking about relationships and how he wishes his partner would work with him and they could build their business together, but she just seems to want to do other stuff. She seems to not care about what he cares about, believe in what he believes. And, they have a family together, so it's very difficult for them to get along. And I let him know, I said, hey, we can look at her chart, we can look at her energies, and we can look at her behaviors and see how she's the problem. We could do that. It's one thing we could do. But we're men. Not just that we're men, we're souls, we're awakened souls. So I told him, I said, hey, look, let's look at your chart. Let's look at your purpose, and let's look at your progress in your purpose. Let's look at how much you're embodying your most authentic self. Let's not worry about breaking up or ending the relationship. And let's not focus on, if this person's best for you or not. Are you being the best person for yourself? I told him, we looked at his chart and we found Virgo in the North Node. We found Virgo and Scorpio in the North Node. So what we learned was that he's supposed to be getting up every day, doing some spiritual work, healing himself in spiritual ways. I'm like, don't expect her to appreciate you and to love you and to follow you if you're not even leading yourself down the right road. You should be getting up and working out. You should be sweating. You should be getting healthier. And we're talking about these things like, yeah, she just doesn't get this. She just doesn't get that. And I'm like, yeah, let's forget about her for a moment. And you want this woman to follow you. And for women, if you're watching this, you want to attract the right guy or whatever it is. Don't expect success in that until you're being a success for yourself. The Virgo Scorpio North Node, for example, tells you spirituality, diving deeper into the occult, into the mysteries of the universe, psychology, and health, and service to the world, service to humanity. How can you be of service to humanity if you're not of service to your health, to yourself first? The better that you take care of yourself, and the more that you do for yourself, the more that you can do for others. Okay, it's as simple as that. So some people may want to help, some people may not want to help, but the best way to help is to help yourself first. So I said, hey, look, let me ask you, are you working out? Are you eating right? The answers are no to all of these things. So I'm like, well, hey, don't expect her to follow you if you're still eating pizza, eating McDonald's, eating GMO food, eating inorganic food. You know, when you go out, you want to impress her. This is what you do. You get up every day and you get to it. You start taking care of yourself first thing. You do your little 100 push-ups for the day. When dinner is made, be like, hey, I appreciate the food, but you know what? I'm starting to consider my health more. I want to make better decisions with my health. So instead of eating this pizza, I'm grateful for it. I'm not going to eat it no more because I'm shifting, I'm changing, I'm growing, I'm evolving. I want to do better for myself. And you actually don't ask them to make the same decisions as you. You just do what you need to do for yourself. Now, give it a couple months, give it a couple weeks. You're working out, you're eating healthy, you're doing what you need to do. You're starting to look different. You're starting to act different. You're starting to feel different. Okay? And they're going to look in the mirror at some point and be like, they're looking better, feeling better, acting better because they're changing things for themselves. That's not your job to get them to change their patterns and to get them to change their behaviors and what they want to do. It's not your job. Let them do that for themselves. Let them heal and grow on their own. Even if you're in a relationship with them, even then. But what you can do is grow in front of their faces. What you can do is grow in front of everybody. Heal yourself in front of everybody. I remember one time, I was in federal prison at one time. And I was in there and I was doing yoga. And they all came in there, they all was looking at my cell. They're like, hey man, hey, don't be doing that stuff around here. What's wrong with you? She over there doing that yoga. Hey man, that's some weirdo stuff. And I'm like, hey look, I don't care what y'all think. I'm doing this to take care of myself. I was doing this before and I'm gonna keep doing it. And I'm gonna be doing this afterwards. And they watching me stretch. They watching me do yoga poses and stuff. Some gangsters. Like, what the heck? And I'm still going. And, you know, they like, this nigga weird. Excuse my language. He's weird. And I'm like, I don't care. And I kept doing it. Day after day after day. Every single rising, every single night, I'm doing it. It became normal. It became so normal that I was eating more. I was getting bigger. I was doing all kind of different workouts. I was looking very, very healthy. While the guys around me, they're sitting around eating junk food, watching TV all day, just distracting themselves. You know, roasting each other, just wasteful things. While I'm walking around reading books every day, writing, journaling every day, working out every day. We're all watching the same TV. But while they're sitting down watching TV, I'm doing push-ups watching TV. While they're sitting down watching TV, I'm holding yoga stretches and yoga poses watching TV. And this is an environment where this is like, oh, this guy is weird. After a little bit of time, you know, I started catching my friends, my cellies and people in there saying like, hey, let's work out together. I'm trying to work out with you. I remember one time, one of my cellies, straight gangster dude, he was really good at basketball. We went upstairs to play basketball, and we're playing with all these young cats, and he's good, but he started to realize that he was letting go of his health when he started getting winded in the first couple little rounds, first couple little, you know, movements in the game, within the first couple minutes. He's tired, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. So after that, we talked about it a little bit, and now every single day he's working out too. But I'm already doing this every single day. So one moment I'm weird, one moment I'm standing out as a weirdo, the next moment I have those same people who said it was weird joining me. I'm getting healthier, I'm looking better, I'm fit. And I'm inspiring people, not through what I'm telling them to do, but from what I'm showing them. Yeah, they hated. Yeah, they talked down on me. Yeah, they looked at me in a weird way at first. But I pushed through it. And I continue to work on me. I continue to do what I had to do to take care of me, to maintain my mental, emotional, spiritual health. I'm reading the Bible every day. Next thing you know, we're having conversations about spirituality and psychology. We're having conversations about the best things in our life, rather than sitting there bringing each other down, tearing each other down, which is how it was when I first got there. Everybody talking down on each other. Everybody making fun of each other. Everybody trying to seem like they're better than the next person. I didn't participate in any of that. What I decided to do was I decided to be better for myself. I decided to make healthy food decisions. I decided to spend my time differently than how everybody else was spending their time. And so the results of this was, at first they might have thought I was weird, but over some time I started looking really healthy. I started looking really good. And I didn't have to tell them, join me. I didn't have to tell them, do this with me, do that with me. They came and asked me to do it with them. And then this one Marine ends up coming in there, and he's like, yeah, I need a workout partner. You're the only guy I see working out. You want to learn some new workouts with me? And I end up working out with this guy. Super cool guy. He started teaching me all kind of new workouts, different things that I could do. And I do those things to this day. I remember a lot of the things that he taught me. So, and not only was I being an example and learning, but I was also teachable. In teaching, I was also teachable. I was able to learn still. Even by setting an example and being an example, I was still open to learning more and growing as well. The reason why I'm telling you this is because there are people in your life, there are situations in your life, relationships in your life, where you may want them to work, but it's not working. Instead of making it work, instead of worrying about that person, what they're doing, what they're not doing, focus on yourself. Why are you criticizing and judging other people when we're not even doing what's best for us first? My homie and this girl, I said, hey, look, man, until you start getting up every day, creating a routine for yourself, working out, embodying that Virgo energy, which is in your North Node, getting healthier, making healthier decisions, don't expect her to like you. Don't expect her to want to be with you. Don't expect her to listen to you. Don't expect her to follow you. Why should she? If you're not even going down the right path for yourself, why would you want to bring somebody else with you? What is that? Don't do that. Man up. Take responsibility. Who cares if she's doing the wrong thing? Who cares if she's out of alignment? Who cares if she doesn't understand the truth? That's irrelevant. The only thing that's relevant is, are you doing it for yourself? Take responsibility. Take accountability for some things that may not even be your job, may not even be your fault, may not even be your role, and be like, hey, you know what? She's not just naive. She's not that she doesn't care about this stuff. That she has no reason to. And I'm not giving her a reason to. So what I should do is embody my growth and give it some time. If this growth, if you embodying your growth, if you embodying the best things for you pushes a person away, they weren't supposed to be there. If you embodying the best version of you, embodying your growth, inspires those people to make those changes for themselves, maybe they are meant to be there. Maybe the relationship isn't the problem. Maybe the girl isn't the problem. Maybe you are. And trust me, I take my own advice. I work on myself. I have a Scorpio Leo North Node. So me sharing this journey, sharing spirituality, expressing myself is something that's been very difficult for me. doing my art, making my music and putting my music out there, sharing that has been very difficult for me. It's been a life journey to be comfortable with this. It's been a life journey to get on camera and share my journey, share my wisdom, share what I know. It's been hard, but I've slowly been getting better at it. I gradually been getting better at it. I've been doing it more and more and more. And I'm getting better at it. And my music is getting better. My confidence is getting better. Me expressing myself is becoming easier. But I don't judge the people in my life anymore. I realized that I had to lose all of my friends. I had to lose all of my friends. I had to lose a lot of situations. I had to let a lot of things go that I gained from my insecurities, from my insecure self, that I gained from the version of myself that was afraid to express themselves. I gained and built a life from being in my lower self, and I had to let that go. And I had to embrace my higher self, my higher nature. And in order to do that, I needed to know my purpose. So I learned my North Node. My North Node is Scorpio in the 5th house. So my journey isn't about making money and getting rich. It's about adding value to myself. It's about healing my mind, stepping deeper into psychology, stepping deeper into the cult, not just learning about it, but doing it. And then through my self-expression, through my music, through my art, through my videos, the video games that I make, the movies that I make, the scripts that I write, the music that I produce, I learned how to put that same message into my craft, into my art. That has been the biggest shift and the most difficult thing for me to do. So that's been my growth. And everybody that comes with that are the right ones. And all the people that I had to push away, I had to let go of, they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. They liked me when I was silent. They liked me when I was distracted. They liked me when I was eating just whatever, doing just whatever. They liked that guy. But when I stopped being that guy, because it's not who I truly was, I lost a lot of people. When I started standing up for my standards, standing up for myself, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people. When I started standing on what I believe to be justice and what I believe to be righteous, I lost a lot of friends. There's a lot of girls that I used to talk to. And, I have no problem letting those relationships go, letting those situations go, because we don't share the same values. We don't embody the same things. As I grow and as I evolve, it shows me that I'm an astrologer. Why would I want to build relationships with people who don't care about astrology? That doesn't make sense. I'm an artist. Why would I share and spend my life with someone who doesn't even like the art that I make? You don't have to like my art. You don't have to like me. But I love my art and I love myself. So the people who I'm going to surround myself with are on that same frequency. They love to talk about this. They love to talk about what I talk about. They love to heal. They love to grow. They love to evolve. They love to put their message out. They love to share and create. And you don't have to have the same exact purpose as me, but we can work together. My homie inspired me to put my art out there, to make more art and to connect in that way. And I inspired him to be healthier, to make healthier decisions, to eat better, to work out more, to exercise, to go outside. You're not here to just be in a relationship. You're not here to just get rich. You're here to evolve. That's one thing that no matter how much money you have, you can always evolve. You can always grow. $1 million isn't going to make you a better person. The type of person that you are is going to determine how you spend that. Just like your time. We all have that same 24 hours in a day. How we spend that, the quality of the thoughts that we have, determines so much. We all live these same 24 hours in a day. But if you're living that 24 hours without intention, without focus, without awareness of yourself, what are you really doing? How is that time really being spent? If you're spending that time and that energy not growing, not evolving, not learning who you are, not improving on who you are, not locked in on your purpose, or at least aware of it, what are you really spending your time on? What are you really doing? I like to have fun. I like to play video games. I like to do that stuff, and I do them, but I don't let them rule my life. I don't let them rule me. I'm not perfect, okay? But I'm always striving to being better. I make sure that I'm at least growing 1% every day. I make sure that I embody my purpose every single day. I make sure that I do something that's best for my health, better for my health. I make decisions, I make choices that are slightly improving myself every single day. I may not be the best, perfect version of myself, but I'm always going in that direction. And the best way to go in that direction is to be aware of that destination. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't know where you're going nowhere. So I recommend you look into your chart. It's going to look like a foreign language. So I recommend you book a reading with me. I'll go ahead and point out your North Node. You can look at your North Node. You can do this all for yourself and figure it out for yourself as well. Generate a chart online for free. Find the North Node. That's the location. That's where you're going. That's what you put in on a GPS. And then everything else is just to help you get there. The sun, the moon, the Mercury, the Mars, all those are just different tools. The type of car that you have, the food that you have in your car, your friends that are going with you. But the North Node is where you're going. Know your purpose. Know where you're going. Okay? You don't want to go too far in the wrong direction, and then you have to reroute. You have to let go of all those things that you did. You didn't need to do those things. Those things cause a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering. Okay, so live your lives with some type of intention. This is the best thing that you can do to heal the world, is to heal yourself. When you start walking in your authentic self, not everybody is going to like you. That's kind of the point. Allow people to be who they are. There are a group of people who love and are waiting for the authentic you. There are a group of people who have nothing to do and want nothing to do with the authentic you. Neither of those factors should determine whether you're living your life in alignment or not. You do the work. You heal yourself. You reflect. You will not know what work to do, and you will not be able to do the work if you don't know who you are first. Becoming aware of who you are is the first step. It's the first step. I wish I had my chart and I knew my chart since I was a child, so I could have always had that roadmap. I may have not perfected myself early. I might have still made a ton of mistakes, but at least I would have known better. At least I would have had a compass. At least I would have had a guide, an unbiased guide, because it's based on me, my truest self. Now I have that. Now I can get up every day and I can choose to orient myself towards growth, or I can choose to orient myself towards stagnation. At least I get to choose. At least the choice is mine. At least I'm not walking in chaos. I can walk in purpose with intention. I don't need to be confused. I don't need to question what my purpose is. And as I walk in that purpose, as I make better food decisions, as I make better decisions with how I spend my time and my energy, I'm aligning myself to people who love me. I'm aligning myself to people who are saying, I've changed their lives. My music may have so many plays on it, but at least the people who have played it have said, it's changed their life. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. And who knows what's in my future? Who knows what my future holds? You never know what can happen tomorrow. You never know what can happen today. Today I might be losing things. Today I might be losing friends. Today I might be losing partners, relationships. I might be losing situations, quote unquote opportunities. Tomorrow, and making space so that tomorrow I can receive new relationships. I can receive new money. I can receive new opportunities. But I had to let go of the old ones. I had to let go of what wasn't for me in order to embrace what is for me. I had to make space for that. So letting go is never a bad thing. It's the preliminary action to receiving. If you're holding on to the wrong things, letting go is a preliminary action to receiving. You want to talk about abundance? You want to talk about embracing what's for you? You want to talk about healing? The best way to get into that healing, the best way to start receiving is to start letting go. Legend of the message of the Scorpio. I said legend. I like that. So I just want to share that message with you guys. You know, like, share, subscribe, send this video to somebody if you think they need to hear it. You know, send this to your partner, send this to your ex. You know, send this to your friend, your best friend, send this to your parents. Let them know that, you know, you care about them, you love them, but you have to care about yourself and love yourself first. You don't have to tell them what to do, and you don't need them to follow you. You need to do what's best for you. If it's meant to inspire them, it will. Grow in front of their faces. Heal in front of their faces. Get stronger. If you don't have any money, work out. Organize your time. Find ways to heal your mind and heal your traumas. If you have a lot of money, start making investments on organic food. Start making investments in yourself. Start setting up your environment to allow you to continue to grow, to catalyze your growth, to promote your growth, to promote your evolution. Okay? Money is not the end-all be-all. The choices and the decisions that we make are a reflection of our attention, reflection of our intention, reflection of what we know, what we're aware of and what we're not aware of. I had a lot of money at times, but due to my lack of awareness, I might have spent it in the wrong ways. But those became lessons. At least I paid attention to the lesson and I learned, so that I can start spending not just money better, but time better. Investing in me rather than trying to invest in everybody else, and investing in situations, investing in circumstances. Because when you invest in yourself and you start investing in things that are going to help you be a better you, you get to keep that growth. When those physical things disappear, you get to keep that soul growth. You get to keep the evolved version of you anywhere that you go. So learn who you are, accept who you are, develop who you are. Hold it down, but keep it up. It's your man Soular Moray. Check out the music on my page. Follow so you can get updates on the newest stuff that's coming out. You know, join the Astro School of Everything. So if you want to get private classes, it's just a simple thing just to DM me. It's very simple to get in contact with me. All the links are in the bio. All right? With that being said, I love y'all. I love myself. Man, you got this. Kings, queens, gods, goddesses, emperors, empresses, y'all got this. Love y'all. Peace.